Hello, it's Alice Rhodes Arts. I'm here with you this week for a talk about our favorite shows or video games. My favorite show is Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is why I chose to cosplay Asuka Langley Shoiru or Shikinami based on whichever version of the show you watch. The outfit I'm wearing is her yellow dress that she wears when she's first introduced in the original series. You can't really see it, but I'll put some photos of that at the end of the video so you can see the outfit. Why Neon Genesis Evangelion is my favorite anime is because you could either see it for something much deeper and look for deeper meanings, or you could just watch a show about kick-ass robots fighting giant monsters, and it just is equally enjoyable either way, and it really stands the test of time. So I just think the writing and everything is really smart for it to be able to hold up even 10 or 20 years in the future, and it'll probably continue to hold up. And that's why it's my favorite show, and if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. So I missed last week. I did not post. I ended up getting really sick. I could barely speak, and it was an episode where I absolutely had to talk to film, and I put it off to the last minute, and then I got sick and I couldn't film it, and I'm really sorry. I'm going to add it onto this episode because I didn't really want to go in long detail talking about why that show is my favorite. It's not something I really enjoyed doing. So instead I'll talk about what last week was about. Last week's episode was supposed to be convention tips. I don't have very many, I just have 5, but hopefully they can help you, especially if you've never gone to a con before. It's always good to hear what other people have to suggest. I'm a big cosplayer, so I do like crazy costumes almost at every con, and I make new costumes. So I definitely have more of that in mind when I came up with these tips. Like for the first one, always try to have someone in your group who's like your cosplay handler, the one you can have props to and stuff like that, but also so they can be the one person who maybe doesn't cosplay, so they can have a bag which has people's phones and wallets in, because you don't want to carry a big bag or anything around if you're in costume. It can damage your costume, and then if you're sitting it down while you do photos, people can steal it, and you like to hope that everyone at con is super nice, and there's not people like that, but there are. So you don't want to be handling a bag. So if you have someone who can always have a hand of a bag and just have them hold on to your phone and your wallet, because it's really all you need. If anything else, maybe like some glue or some emergency sewing kit in case something goes wrong on your costume. But you should definitely have someone else hold on to that. Unless you make hidden pockets or departments on your costume, which I would definitely recommend. I know I'm trying to do that now because I can't always have someone with me, even though it's way better to be with more people. So I definitely, if you don't have anyone in your group who's not cosplaying, try to always work in bags or hidden pouches to carry your personal stuff like that. Okay, for tip number 2, it is to travel in a large group. Obviously you can't always travel with more people because sometimes you're the only person going to that con. It's not always that enjoyable. Like, you might be someone who enjoys traveling or being by yourself, but it's not always safe. Cons can have theft, you can be sexually harassed, especially if you're a girl dressing in cosplay and you're doing anything revealing. It's not wise to travel alone. Speaking from personal experience, don't do it. Try to always be in a group of friends. They'll make it more fun and it'll be safer. So please try to travel with other people. In the long run, it'll be a lot better. Okay, tip number 3. Okay, I know that some costumes are really hard to eat in. Like, I have some costumes that I can't even sit down, so I can't go to like a normal restaurant and sit down and eat for lunch or anything. So I just won't eat. And I know other people do that too, but it's really not smart. And so my tip is to just try to have like power bars or granola bars, something easy and less messy to eat, and just have someone hold on to a bunch as if you don't have a bag or you're not in a simple costume. And then at least eat one meal. Like, at least have your goal be to eat one normal meal while at each day of the con. If you have to go back, get change or something simple, and at least go out to have a nice dinner so you have at least one decent meal down. I try to do that at every con I go to, because I know none of my costumes do I trust myself to eat in, especially since I'm a huge mess. I just know my luck, something's gonna get on them, so I don't eat a normal meal until dinner. Around dinner time, after the convention centers close, and I could just have like a break in between costumes and go out to eat, and I highly suggest you do that. At least one meal. If you are someone who actually can manage to get several meals in, a normal amount of meals in, good for you. But at least try to get one and try to have lots of snacks on you at all times. So you do not want to get sick and fatigued at a con. It will not be fun. Trust me. For the fourth one, it's just more of a recommendation. I suggest always try to get a hotel room really close to the convention center. I've done both. I definitely had more fun when I'm at a hotel that's next to the convention center rather than farther away when you have to travel. Because not only is traveling sometimes a pain in big costumes, it's just not fun, and you miss part of the con. You can't do as much because you have to be back at a certain time or travel, and it's a huge inconvenience. So if there's any way you possibly can, try to get a hotel room like right next to the convention center, or if there's a con that's in a hotel, try to get that hotel because you'll enjoy it so much more. So just try to get as close as possible, because you really will have a much easier time. It'll be much more enjoyable. But if you can't, oh well, at least you get to go to the con. It's just my suggestion. It makes it a lot easier. And finally, don't stress about little things. I have made that mistake several times. I'm worried about my costume being perfect, everything being perfect, and it just makes everyone else around you miserable. It makes you miserable. Just have fun. Don't worry about these little things, and it'll be much more enjoyable. And that's pretty much it for my con tips. I hope some of them are helpful. I know I'm probably not the best person to listen to because I do stupid shit for cosplay all the time, but hopefully my suggestions are at least a little helpful for someone out there. If not, you can always check the other people's videos from last week. I'm sure they have some helpful tips too, because everyone's con experience is different. Everyone has different ways of enjoying it. And that's it for this week. I covered both things from last week. I'm sorry this video is going to be kind of short. Next week we are answering questions about cosplay that Doubleganger put together. So I'll see you next week. Bye!